All right, folks, welcome back to Procreate. So we're going to show you now how to make a lettering guide. So this is a project that you can do in Procreate. And if you so want to, I know people sell lettering guides. And so it's one of those things, if that's a product that you wanted to make, this is how you do it. So let's go ahead and we're just going to create a new canvas. I'm going to go ahead and create a 1080 by 1080 canvas. It doesn't matter what size it is. You're going to go ahead and save out however you want to. But I'm going to go ahead and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink down this canvas and we're going to use quicklime. Now, I like to work in red on these and I like to use my hard brush and I turn the size down very small. So make sure you have all of those things. It's just going to go easier. Now, all of my templates revolve around primitive style shapes. All right, so let's go ahead and paint this stroke. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a rectangle, if you can believe it. Edit shape, rectangle, and now that tells Procreate I was trying to draw a rectangle. Procreate says, no problem, I got you. Now we're going to transform this, and I want to make sure uniform transform is on so that when I drag by the corner, I get what I'm looking for. All right, so this is a pretty good rectangle. All right, now I want to draw a line, so I'm going to make sure I have the same brush. I'm going to come down to about halfway, and I'm going to draw a line, and then Procreate is going to snap this thing for me. That's my midline. Now I'm going to come in, and I'm going to dotted line this thing. All I'm doing is erasing. Okay, so the drawing guides that we're going to create here are all around the rectangular box. So we're going to do 3. This first one is just the simple rectangular guide. In order to export this, you can go ahead and come up here and export it as a JPEG. Or if you had a transparent background, you could do the PNG. All right, so now what we're going to do here, I want to introduce you to the distort function. Now, so we're going to transform. Let's do this actually. I'm going to right swipe or left swipe. I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to turn this one off and I'm going to lock it, leaving this new one. Let's call this one skew. That way we don't ruin the one we just made. All right, so if we're on the skew, very simply, come up to distort, grab this side, grab this side, and now you have a skewed map. Perfect. Now this is good for banners, this is good for different applications. Let's go ahead now. Let's go ahead and right swipe, duplicate, bring up our rectangle again. Let's go ahead and lock the skew. Let's turn it off, come up to this layer. Let's unlock it. And let's call this one pinch. So rename pinch. Okay. So when we have a pinched one, we need to show it. We're now going to come up to warp. Now notice I have warp on. I'm going to choose a point about halfway in. And I'm going to press this thing into the center. Just like this. And just like that, we have a pinched guide. Okay. Now I'm going to take the layer 1. I'm going to left swipe again. I'm going to duplicate. Ooh, that's not delete, huh? Duplicate. Bring it up to the top. Perfect. Now, here's the trick. I'm going to come over to pinch. We're going to lock. And we're going to turn off the visibility. And I'm going to come up to this new layer. We're going to unlock. And then I'm going to rename. Let's call this one, let's call this one perspective. This is one of my favorite ones to do. When you have a perspective one, what we're going to do now, we're going to come down to transform. We're going to warp. And now when we warp, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this whole side down. And I'm going to pull this whole side up. And I'm going to pull this side in. So this is actually really cool because this allows me to really warp this area. Now you see how I got to pull the middle as well? This is going to be really neat when we start talking about doing all of the different text where it starts out big and goes to small. All right, so this is a good one. And if you wanted to, you could straighten that line out. All right, there's a couple different ways to do it. You can save this one if you want to, or you can let me show you this different way here. Again, we're back to here now. Now let's go ahead and just go to freeform. Shrink that down a little bit. Now let's come over to distort. And let's go ahead now and just shrink down these areas right here. You see how this one gives you a very linear distortion. Now, I'm going to push it a little further. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go to warp because I can't help myself. And I'm going to warp those lines up a little bit. All right, there we go. And let's shrink that back down. So that gives it a little bit of that rounded warp look. I can't help myself. I really like that look. So if you like these here, you can go ahead and export each of these out as PNGs with blank backgrounds. We can just turn off the background color, come over here, go to PNG, and you can save it in Procreate. Let's go ahead and save that image. Now, what do we do with this? Wrapping up, because this is a project. Let's go to Gallery. We're going to come up, any old screen size will do, right? Bring it up. Now, let's go ahead and go File. Let's go ahead and Canvas. Actually, Add, sorry. Go ahead and Insert Photo. Bring it up to All Photos. Take the one you got here. And now, just to prove it out, let's go ahead and come back down here. Let's add a layer down below here. And now you can see you can put your letter down along the lettering guide. All right, there is a way to make them stamp brushes. I'm going to show you that in the next project that we're going to do. But right now, I just wanted to show you how you can make a simple lettering guide using the quick shape technique that you know already. All right, let's get into the next lesson.